Hi everyone. This is a currently inked. I haven't done one in a few months because I've been very busy. Yeah. So I thought I would do one for November. I kind of wish I did one for October because it's like peak autumn, but I was away for the beginning of October and then I didn't really ink up any pens. Yeah, I just cleaned a whole bunch out for like in October and I inked one other pen up and that was it. So nothing interesting. Yeah, so I guess we'll just get into it. I've changed out my blotters finally. If you've seen some of my other videos, I had some blotters that I had been using for about 3 years, and they weren't ugly, but they were very well used, and it's quite funny because you can actually tell the difference in the paint color. I have them over. I have one. I actually technically I didn't throw them out. I was recycling them, but I kept one to use as like just with my gratitude log. But like you can see the difference in the pinks because of how long I've had them and how well used they are, and they're like they're very floppy in comparison. Yeah, so I'm just recycling them. Well, I'm recycling that one. The other one is being used in my gratitude log because I didn't feel like cutting up another blotter sheet. Whatever, it's fine. So yeah, I have, how many pens do I have inked up? I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 5 pens inked up. I had a lot, or not a lot, but I'm trying to get back into drawing. I used to be an art student, so I'm trying to get back into drawing, so I got a pen for drawing specifically, but then I decided I had it inked up for when I went away, and I had it inked up, like, before I went away, and I just cleaned it out, and I'm just not using it right now because I haven't been drawing, and I'm also trying to get back into knitting because I pick it up and drop it every year when it gets warmer out. Yeah, anyway. Yeah. Okay, so I always try and go in sort of like a, let's see, kind of like a rainbow order-ish. Yeah, whatever. I don't have like every color of the rainbow inked up all the time, but yeah, I guess we'll see what happens. So the first pen I have is a new edition, and my first and only maker pen, and it might just be my only ever maker pen. I got it at Scriptus this year, which is the Toronto Pen Show, and oh my god, it's so beautiful. I'm really taken with it. I'll try and, let's see if I can get it like a bit, yeah. I'm very taken with it. It's shiny, it's not shiny, it's sparkly. It has these beautiful swirls on the finials. I'm not a big like swirly acrylic resin person, but okay. Content warning right now. I'm going to mention blood very briefly. There is you can skip ahead like maybe like a minute and I'll stop talking about it, but it reminds me of this photography series done by a French photographer. I cannot remember what his name is right now, where he mixed blood and milk, and that's what this reminds me of, and I thought it was really beautiful. It's kind of gross and grody, whatever. I thought it was always very kind of cool. That's what this reminded me of, but this is more bright red, so it's more like a strawberry milkshake to me, or like when you get a sundae with strawberry sauce on it. I just think it's so beautiful, and I really like this little blob there. A blob, I don't know, a circle. I just think it's so pretty, and I'm very happy with it. Anyway, this pen is by London Pen Co., who is a Canadian pen maker based in London, Ontario. So yeah, he was at Scriptus, and he's always at Scriptus, and I have wanted to support his work for a while. I just was looking for the right one, and I'm not a big swirly acrylic resin person, but for some reason I'm very taken with this. Okay, sorry, I'll just get to writing with it. So this is actually the pen I'm using in my daily journal for this month, because since I got it, I really wanted to put it to good use. It has a Bach steel nib, and he had like so many different nib widths when I asked, because he was like, all right, when you go to his booth, it's just the pen body. There's no nib yet. And so, because they install a nib there, and then he actually has a colleague tune it for you on the spot, which is amazing. he was like, I was like, okay, he was like, what nib do you want? And I was like, what do you have? And he listed off like extra fine, fine, medium, broad, double broad, stub, 1.1, 1.5, 1.9, and like kept going. And I was like, oh, I think a medium's just good for me. But yeah, it was very cool, and he was very nice. So this is my London Pen Co. pen with, I think it's, I wrote it down somewhere. The model is I believe, Christopher 13. I'm just going to put C13 and medium. And this ink I just also got at Scriptus from Penablers. It is a Birmingham ink, and they are one of the, I think Penablers is probably the only place in Canada you can get a Birmingham ink, because they're located in St. Catharines, which is close to the border. Anyway, so this is Birmingham Butcher's Broom. I feel like November is a very red month. I don't know whether it's, sorry if you can hear my dog, she's on my bed. She just let out a big yawn. Anyway, November feels very red to me, and I'm not sure if it's because of Remembrance Day or because it was my Nana's birthday on the 20th of December, and her favorite color was red. Either way, I chose red for this month, and I'm very much enjoying it, and I think, yeah, this pen is just so stunning to me. I was very taken with it. I saw it when I did my first round at Scriptus, and then I decided, okay, I'm just gonna walk around. I don't need a pen. And I caved. Okay, so I'll put this away. Okay, so the next one I have is this Sailor. You've seen it before. This is a lot of people's first Sailors because you can get them quite cheap online. I actually got a different model as my first Sailor. That was my first gold nib Sailor. Anyway, I got a different one, very similar to this. It was the one that's like almost identical, but slightly more cream, but it was a medium fine. And I saw someone on the Canadian fountain pen Facebook group that was wanting to trade this one, which is a medium, for the medium fine. Easy. Sorry if you can hear her scratching. But anyway, I got this one that's a medium. I had it tuned slightly, and it's one of my favorite writers, and it's very, like, it's a gold nib, but because it's been tuned, it's very, very smooth and wet, which I prefer. So this is my Sailor. This is a medium, and the ink is Kyo no Oto's Yamabukiro. I hope I am pronouncing that right. If not, I apologize. Okay, so I tried this ink when I first got into fountain pens, and I didn't like it at the time. But then I kept seeing it around, and I was like, I should try that again, because your tastes change. And I really do like it now. I actually, I had it in a different pen in October for like maybe 3 days. And okay, so it was in my Decimo, which is also a new pen that I got. I inked it one day, and it wrote like this. The literal next day, the color had darkened so much. I was like, okay, how did that happen? And upon consulting the group chat, we're under the impression that either there was water in the feed, or because it's a Decimo, which is the skinnier vanishing point by Pilot, the seal is just not as good because it's a retractable pen. So we're assuming that the seal on mine is not great, and so it darkened quite considerably just in a day. But yeah, I really like this color. It's kind of like a yucky yellow, but I thought it was good for November, because a lot of the trees in my neighborhood are kind of this color. The tree outside on our front lawn is like kind of this color right now. Okay, next. This is, I mentioned drawing pens earlier. I'm using this as a drawing pen. This is just a Kaweco Sport in the dark olive in their the Kaweco collection. I had some trouble with this pen when I first got it because I realized the nib and feed have not been seated correctly in the grip section. And so all the ink ran out like multiple times, and I was like, oh, come on, man. But I really like this color and I didn't want to get rid of it. I used to have a large collection of Kawecos. I now have 3. Well, I have 3 sports. I have 1 student, so I have 4 Kawecos, but I used to have a lot of these to the point I had a separate, pen case for Kawecos and pocket pens specifically. But I kind of grew out of them, and yeah, so I only have 3 now. This is the one I'm using currently. The other 2 are kind of, well, one of them is good to use. The other one is just kind of for sentimental purposes. But yeah, so this one is my drawing pen for now because I put a cartridge in it with an ink. I was like, okay. Well, if you've seen the Jairbon cartridges, the little tins they come in, I think they're so cute. And so I got this color because it's called Vert Olive, which is green olive. And so I assumed, oh, okay, it must be an olive color. It'll be great with this. It is like yellow-green, but like almost neon. So it's not the most legible. So I've just been using it for drawing. And I inked this like a few months ago. And I don't want to waste the cartridge. So I've been kind of drawing with it ever since. But it's not my favorite. Yeah, it's like a really light green, so it's not great for writing, for me at least. I'm sure other people may get some use out of it. But yeah, for me, it's not the most legible, so I've just been drawing with it. And this is Jairbon. I wrote a U. Okay, whatever. So yeah. I like the shading on it, and I think it's good for drawing, but I don't like the way it looks for writing, so I've just not been using it for writing. Yeah. And I have 2 more pens to go, but I'm going to pause and take a drink. Okay, we're back, and I realize I may have been a little out of frame like this whole time, and I apologize for that. Yeah, sorry about that. I can't really, my overhead camera is like above, well, not above my head, but like I can't see it while I'm sitting down, so apologies for that. Okay, what's the next one? Oh, the other green. I have 2 greens inked up, and they are both olive greens. I don't have many blue greens, which a bit of a shame because I've been leaning more to that in that shade of green recently. I think it's because it's almost like it's getting to winter, but yeah. So you can kind of see it in there. I don't know if you can see the green sloshing around in this TWSBI. It's quite shocking for me because I am, as you might have been able to tell with this one and this one, I was very big into matching the ink color with the pen body. I've dwindled down my collection quite a lot because when I got into fountain pens, I sort of just jumped right in, and I collected a lot of pens very quickly, even though I don't have that kind of money. I don't know why I did that. Anyway, I collected a lot of pens quickly, and I had a bunch of colors of each pen, so I could do that. But now I've been curating my collection more, and so a lot of my pens have been more on the neutral colors side. So like I've also gotten a lot of demonstrators, because with demonstrators you can put whatever color you want in there. But yeah, so I have a few colored pens, but then most of mine tend to be like brown. And I love brown ink. I use a lot of brown ink, but I I also love other colored inks. So I'm trying to break the habit of matching pen bodies to ink color. So this is one of them. The final pen will be the same, but this is the TWSBI the Caffe one, in the Caffe bronze colorway, and it has a green ink in it. I'm gonna put this on top just in case, because I don't want to smear anything. They're very similar, but this one's just slightly darker. So this is the TWSBI Eco Caffe Bronze. I have to differentiate my TWSBIs now because I actually have 3 of them again. I had a few. One of my first pens was a TWSBI, and then I sold it because I was like, I don't like this color anymore. But yeah, so this is Dominant Industry. Tuna and olives. Sorry, I always get those. This is one of the Wonder Pen inks, the Dominant Industry collab inks. I always get the names all mixed up in my head. This one's just called Tuna and Olives. I think the other one's called Chicken in the Sky with Diamonds, which is the shimmer blue. Yeah, I always get it mixed up. Sorry about that. I got this sample from one of the people who comes to our journaling meetups every month. I really like this color. I don't need a bottle of it, but I really like the color. I like Dominant Industry inks. They're usually quite well behaved for me. But yeah, if you don't know, this is one of the Wonder Pen collab inks, and all of the Wonder Pen collab inks with Dominant Industries are based off the 2 shop cats, who are Chicken and Tuna, and I think it's very funny. I love seeing the cats on their stories. Okay. And then this is my last pen, which is the only actual one I have in like a neutral color. Or not a neutral, the only ink I have in a neutral color, but the body is not the neutral color, which, like I said with this one, I'm trying to break the matchy-matchy thing, because I don't have enough pens to be matchy-matchy anymore, and I have a lot of ink. So yeah, this is my beloved Sakura Mochi Sailor Pro Gear Slim. I got it off of, I think it was the Instagram sale profile. I can't remember what it's called right now. If you're in the community, you might be familiar with it. It's is it just called Pen Show? I don't know, but it's where like you can put up listings for fountain pens, and someone was selling this. I wanted this pen so bad when it came out, but it came with a bottle of ink, which made the price way too expensive for me, and I didn't really want the ink. So I just waited for someone to sell it, and this came up, but it was a fine nib, and as you can see, I'm a medium nib person. But I just jumped at it because I figured, hey, I might be able to get it. You can't really broaden fine nibs, but you can tune them to write a little wetter. So that's what I had done with this nib, and then I put a really wet ink in it. So we're all good, and I've put, like, not dryer, but I've put regular flowing inks in here, and it still performs quite well. So I'm quite pleased with it. Come on now. So it writes so nicely as well. You can hear the feedback, but it's not scratchy. A lot of people complain about sailors having scratchy feedback, it is fair, but I don't find it scratchy. It is very pronounced feedback, but it's more like writing with like a very sharp pencil to me. But like, if that's not your thing, maybe do not invest in a sailor. Okay, so this is my Sailor Pro Gear Slim and Fine. And this is a Pilot Irashizuku ink. Nope. This is Tsukushi. Tsukushi is one of my favorite brown inks, I think. Unfortunately, it has been discontinued. I don't know why Pilot keeps like, they're like, oh, sorry, we're discontinuing this one ink that we only have like one color of, but we've added 5 more blues. I don't know what that's about. Blues just sell better, I assume. But anyway, Sakushi is unfortunately discontinued. I'm very lucky to have a bottle of it, one of the big bottles. I bought it pretty early in my fountain pen hobby, but I'm very happy I have it because it's like I don't remember, is it 80 mil? It's a big bottle. But I opened it when I was inking this pen yesterday, and I saw something on the cap, and I was so afraid. It was literally just, it turned out to be a cluster of bubbles. I didn't shake it or anything, but there was like a cluster of bubbles on the inside of the cap, and I was like, oh god, please do not be mold. I will be devastated. It was just bubbles. I took a tissue and I like dipped it in very gently, and it went whoop, and I was like, oh, it's just liquid. We're good. We're good. And I like smelled it. It smells fine. It's behaving perfectly fine. So we're all good. I was just worried. So this is my November color palette, and I really like it. I think I spit on the page. Gross. So yeah, this is my November color palette. It's very autumnal. I'm missing an orange, but I wrote with Ancient Copper all last month, and yeah, anyway. I really like it, and I feel very happy with it. And technically speaking, I have 4 pens to play with, and then 1 for drawing. Well, 3 pens to play with, 1 for drawing and 1 for my daily journal. So I have some good wiggle room in there. I'm very pleased. I'll bring it up a little closer so you can see better. I hope you can see the color pretty well. I can never tell. Sorry about that. But yeah, so those are my pens for November. I will try and do pens for December as well, but I don't know what's happening yet. I'm supposed to go visit my fiance for like 3 weeks. We'll see. I also have a job interview coming up, so yeah. Everyone wish me luck. I'm very afraid to talk about it because I'm afraid to jinx it. I might actually cut this out. But yeah, so if I got the job, I probably won't be able to travel, but whatever. Yeah, so these are my colors for November. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a good rest of your day. Take care.